This is Your Life, an American television. And now, here he is, Mr. This Is Your Life himself, Ralph Edwards.
Our teenagers today are molded by many influences, some profound, some lighthearted, each important in its way. And one of those lighthearted influences is music. Right now, the curtain in our This Is Your Life studio is going up on an exciting group of people. Without their seeing us for a moment, let's take a look at them through a camera. Now, there they are. Favorite popular young singers, Frankie Avalon, Andy Williams, Fabian, and Connie Francis. There's famous television disc jockey Dick Clark and educator Dr. F. Willard Robinson of the Los Angeles City Schools. One of them is about to be our guest of honor on This Is Your Life, but he doesn't know it yet. He thinks he's about to take part in a panel discussion of teenage music. Let's go in and surprise him. Excuse me, my name's Ralph Edwards, and hi, y'all. I've met all you other panel members, but until this moment, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you and saying to you, Dick Clark. Hi, Dick. Musical star maker, America's #1 disc jockey, host. Oh, my, he's become a spokesman for the great, wholesome majority of American teenagers. Tonight, Dick, this is your... Dick, these friends of yours here have helped us surprise you. Our thanks to all singing stars and our sneaky fellas and girls that you are. And to you too, Dr. Robinson of the Los Angeles City Schools. Thank you very much, Dr. F. Willard Robinson.
No wonder he was worried about this.
Yeah, he wasn't worried about why should he? He's not going to be hurt. Dick Clark, if you'll step down, we'll find out why these friends on stage with you and those in our studio audience and millions of others across the country think you're such a great guy. Yeah, but he didn't explain this one, did he? Dick Clark, this is your life, the life of one of today's outstanding television personalities. As master of ceremonies of 2 nationally televised record and dance shows, American Dance Band on weekdays from Philadelphia, and the Dick Clark Show on Saturday nights from New York City, you have a combined weekly audience of, let's say, 50 million Americans at least, and you receive 50,000 letters a week from your teenage fans, which you answer through your Sunday column in This Week magazine. Circulation almost 12 million. Frankie Avalon!
You sneaky devil here. Mr. Edwards, I'll always be grateful to Dick for the faith he had in me. And when things weren't going so well, Dick played a record of mine, Dee Dee Dinah, and that was on a Thursday, and on a Monday, I was on my way. So, and also, Dick isn't just a records. He's a real good friend and a counselor for teenagers. And he also directed Fabian and me into a career in motion pictures.
You're supposed to be making that motion picture right now. What are you doing here?
Yes, Guns of the Turner Brothers. Right, and Frankie Avalon. You'll see Dick a little later. America's youngest star maker, Dick Clark. You're born in Mount Vernon, New York on November 30th, 1929, and christened Richard Wagstaff Clark. How you grew up to become, at the age of 29, the Dick Clark who's liked and respected by millions of teenagers. I'm sure your mother and father can tell us. And here they are from their home in Utica, New York, Richard A. and Julia Clark. Here's Mom and Dad. Let Mom get on that side of you, Dick. What sort of interest did Dick have as a boy, Ms. Clark?
Oh, Dick always loved music, and he loved being outside. He spent hours building tree huts and digging tunnels out in the woods and back of where we lived.
You helped us build one of them once. She got the car out one time and tied a long rope to it to hoist the roof up to a 2-story hut we built.
That's the kind of mother to have, isn't it?
Not too many of these around.
Yeah, and later at Mount Vernon's A.B. Davis High School, Dick, although you're too light for football, not quite fast enough for the track or swimming team, you try out for these sports, and one
I was
spring...
an all-American failure when it came to
You win a certain athletic competition, though. What was that? The push-up contest.
Oh, this was the one thing I could do. A friend of mine and I Spent many push-ups and sit-ups. I don't think I know, but at the time I...
You still hold the record, I think, there at A.B. Davis. Mr. Clark, was Dick's youth always a happy one?
Oh, for the most part, Ralph. Of course, there were some sad times. He had an older brother, Brad. He loved and admired him very dearly. Brad was quite an athlete. Football and a speed swimmer, and Dick, of course, tried to follow in his footsteps. But after Brad's death in World War II, Dick was a high school freshman then. It did something to him. He was pretty depressed for a long time, but he decided that he'd have to stand on his own 2 feet, and later he became president of his high school student council.
Thank you both very much, Mr. and Mrs. Clark, for flying out here from Utica, New York, to help us honor your splendid son. Here's Fabian.
I never thought you'd lie to me.
How you doing, Dick? I just want to
He
ask...
rode all the way here with me.
Yeah, well...
I just wanted to ask if you needed a babysitter.
What's this babysitting business?
Well, one day the Clarks were stuck for a babysitter. I volunteered.
He's spoiled, you know, between this fellow here and his grandparents. This child of mine has never been the same. He won't settle for an ordinary baby.
How'd you do with...
Well, I tried to give little Dickie a bubble bath, but I got old bubbles.
This was a sight to see.
I must have been something, full of soap. Fabian, your record, Tiger, sold 180,000 copies within the first week after Dick started it off on American Bandstand. He's a hit maker for sure, eh, Fabian?
Well, Ralph, he's a real wonderful guy, and Dick, I can't tell you how grateful I am for my record sales and my movie contract. Just thanks to me and Dick.
Yes, high school boy, soon to be movie star in the 20th Century Fox Jerry Wald production Hound Dog Man. Thank you, Fabian.
Thanks, Dave. There is one very important point that should be made for Frankie and Fabe. I am only one player of records. There are countless thousands of fellas around who do what I do. And I'm sure they give their thanks to them, too. I just happen to know them because they live in my neighborhood and that sort of thing.
They do that, all right. But you weren't at the meeting yesterday when Fabian and Frankie started talking about you. And if we ever let them get up, they think about you and how much they appreciate what you've done, just not only as a player of records, but as a counselor, as you've said, and all that, it would take 2 days. And as a grade school boy, Dick, your sense of fun has a bit of happy mischief mixed in it. And one night, while visiting your grandparents in Rome, New York, you're visited by the police. Now, what for?
Yeah, this is, I had a little brush with the authorities. That was the only night I ever got pinched.
How old were you, about?
Oh, I don't know, about 8 or 9 years old. My cousin and I were making weird noises on the porch.
Yeah.
And it was a great gag to see everybody run down the street after we did this. And we did it to the same person that came and picked us up and scared the daylights out of us. They let us go.
Altogether, though, Dick,